There's nowhere in North America quite like Quebec City. With its cobblestone streets, fortified walls, and centuries-old architecture, it feels more like a European village than a Canadian capital. As one of the oldest cities in North America, it's heavily influenced by its French founders, and the heart of French Canada, where French is probably the official language. We visited it in the heart of fall, and the timing couldn't have been better to soak in the charm, history, and incredible cuisine that makes this place so special. In this video, we're spending 2 days exploring what Quebec City has to offer. From its famous landmarks and Indigenous roots to iconic dishes and nearby national parks you don't want to miss. Subscribe to join us as we discover the magic of Quebec City. Our time in Quebec City started in Old Town. It's the main tourist area and where most visitors spend the majority of their time. And it's easy to see why. Walking inside the fortified walls of this UNESCO World Heritage Site feels like stepping back in time. We signed up for a walking history tour to get a better feel for Quebec's roots and its distinct French-Canadian identity. Long before these stone walls and cobblestone streets existed, this land was the ancestral home of the Huron-Wendat people. Then in 1608, French explorer Samuel de Champlain established a permanent settlement along the cliffs of the St. Lawrence River. Its strategic location made it a natural stronghold and vital link in the fur trade. And by 1663, it became the capital of New France. Although the British took control of Quebec in 1759, its French culture never disappeared. In fact, it's stronger than ever and rooted in its language, food, architecture, and daily life. Towering over it all is Chateau Frontenac, a grand hotel built in the late 1800s by the Canadian Pacific Railway to attract luxury travelers with the iconic Dufferin Terrace boardwalk below. Just steps away is the Rue des Petits Champlain, often voted one of the most beautiful streets in the world, lined with boutique shops, art galleries, and souvenir stores. Wow, wow, wow. I am blown away and absolutely in love with Old City, Quebec. This little area, the fortified old center, is absolutely stunning. We've heard so many people say it's like stepping into a small village in Europe, like you're actually in France, and it couldn't be more accurate of a statement. It is gorgeous. But all of that walking worked up quite an appetite, so we headed to Cul-de-Sac in the Lower Champlain district. French onion soup, that's like one of my favorites. This spot, based on our tour guide's recommendation, is the best spot for French onion soup. This one's made in a veal broth, and of course all the slow roasted onions and cheese on top with a delicious bread. All of the Quebec food seems to be very hearty, which is perfect because it is quite cold here and we're only in October. This is just what I wanted for this cold day. You can see most of Old Quebec in a day. If you really wanted to make the most of your time here, I could spread it over 2 days. But there's a lot more to see outside of the walled city, so don't just stick to this historic part. There's a lot of great breweries, great restaurants. That's where most of the locals live and hang out. For example, Le Grand Marche, one of Quebec's newest indoor markets located just outside of downtown. Inspired by the world-renowned market in Paris, it brings together dozens of local producers under one roof. You can find everything from seasonal fruits and vegetables to artisan cheeses, cured meats, fresh bread, and ready-to-eat meals. So this isn't the only one. This is just the newest, the biggest. This is, I think, also very accommodating for tourists. They also have a few shops that you can grab some souvenirs here. They had a maple shop that had every type of maple product you could ever imagine, because the province of Quebec is the largest distributor and maker of maple syrup in the world. So you can find all the maple goodies here. It would have been easy to fill up there, but we had other plans. We were holding out for something just as iconic to Quebec as maple syrup. Poutine. The province's signature dish. It's a massive pile of French fries with fresh cheese curds smothered in a hot brown gravy. We came to one of Quebec City's many microbreweries. We did La Souche. We went to another one last night for dinner and it was awesome. I am super impressed with the beer scene here. They're known for their poutine. We've tried it before when we went to Montreal, and I'm not gonna lie, we were not the biggest fan. We love French fries, we love cheese curds, we love the gravy. So we thought this would be heaven in a bowl, but I don't know, maybe we just haven't had fantastic poutine. We went rogue and got some fun spins on them. One has barbecue sauce on it with roasted pork, and then the Oktoberfest one, which has red peppers, onions, a sausage. There's fromageries on every corner. They're known for their cheese here and just high quality of ingredients, so I think this will be good. I'm a convert. The cheese curds are squeaking. The sauce is perfect. This is fantastic and a way better experience.
We visited Quebec City on our way home from an RV road trip through Nova Scotia, and we stayed at a campground tucked quaintly among the maple trees about 20 minutes north of the historic center. Not only was it affordable, but if you don't have your own vehicle, they even offer a shuttle into the city, making it a great base for exploring.
This morning we came to Pascal Le Boulanger. I'm probably butchering this, but I'm trying, guys. And they have like loads of different pastries, quiches, to-go foods. We got a croque-monsieur, scones, croissants. One thing I want to mention about the cuisine here is how focused they are on sustainability. We found so many restaurants that source their ingredients within the Quebec province, which I think is a rarity. They really take like fresh, local food to a whole new level. And we have so many recommendations if you're interested in one of the more upscale, finer dining experiences. You know, we're on a budget. We can't do all of the places we'd love to visit, but we will have loads of recommendations down below for places to eat. Now I'm going to enjoy my croque-monsieur. Oh, it's like cheese and a bechamel with like Swiss and tomato on top with the perfect bread. It's so good. Quebec is the largest of Canada's 10 provinces. It's more than twice the size of Texas. Most of it is dense wilderness, dotted with over 1 million lakes and rivers. It's a dream for outdoor lovers, covering nearly 20% of all forested land in Canada. To take advantage of the crisp autumn air and see some of the region's famous fall colors, we made the drive to Jacques-Cartier National Park, about an hour north. This ancient glacial valley is carved by winding rivers and lined with dramatic cliffs and forests, offering no shortage of views and trails. We chose to hike the Éperon Trail, a 3.1-mile loop with about 820 feet of elevation gain. It doesn't sound too bad, but it is very steep in some sections. But the panoramic views at the top made every step worth it. Unreal. The colors are popping off. Jacques-Cartier has delivered on the fall vibes all the way. Like, look at this. Watching you was such a thrill. All that I could do was laugh.
After a quick freshen up, we headed 10 minutes from our campground to the town of Windake, the modern homeland of the Huron-Wendat nation. It's also where you'll find the Huron-Wendat Museum, an under-the-radar gem and a highlight of our trip to Quebec. The museum displays a collection of artifacts, oral histories, and a traditional longhouse like those found in fortified Wendat villages. The ancestral villages would have contained dozens of longhouses, each appropriately sized for the family it sheltered and typically located near a freshwater source. To this day, they hunt, gather, and cultivate crops like the Three Sisters, corn, beans, and squash grown together, each plant providing the next with vital nutrients needed to thrive. Windake isn't on most people's itineraries when visiting Quebec City, but it should be. I think we should all take time to learn from the Indigenous peoples of the land we're visiting, as well as support their communities, like Pastries Industries, offering handmade moccasins using traditional techniques blended with modern materials. There's also beautiful hotels and restaurants to experience Indigenous cuisine, like La Sagamite, named after a traditional stew made with corn, squash, and beans.
Very hot. Oh, it's so warming. This is like just a delicious homemade soup with a fantastic broth. If you were sick, this is exactly what you'd want.
The menu focuses on traditional cuts of meat, sustainably sourcing game from within the Quebec province, like this puff pastry with elk and venison and a wild cranberry and blueberry chutney.
The blueberry sauce in it and the thyme, it's like so bright for being venison. Wow, wow, wow. I'm so glad we came here. What a cool experience.
The must-order dish here is the yatista, meaning fire. It was created to represent the spiritual importance of fire in Huron-Wendat culture. Around it, ancestors gather, give thanks to the creator, and enjoy meals together.
Wow, that was so cool. They use brandy to like catch it on fire, and this piece in the center is continuously cooking the meat, so you just pull it off whenever you want it. Oh, that's good. The elk is so good.